So hello guys, welcome to episode 77 of our F1 Manager Save. Now if you didn't watch the last episode on Tuesday, go back and watch that. It was Monaco, it was a jewel in the crown, and Lando Norris won at Monaco. And to be fair, he won it at an absolute canter, finishing a mile in front of Max Verstappen. Mick Schumacher battled back to P4, again showing some signs of improvement. Mick at the moment trying to save his career for the second part of the season here at Ferrari. If we have a look at the standings, Red Bull are now just 4 points in front of us in the Constructors. McLaren dropping off a bit. It's starting to become a two-horse race between the Ferrari and the Red Bulls. And driver standings-wise, Lando Norris is currently 32 points clear at the top of the driver standings. Charles Leclerc in the Red Bull is his closest challenger. Then is Max Verstappen. Mick Schumacher, I believe we could get him up to sort of P5, P4, but that may be the maximum for Mick Schumacher. Now, as we know, the release of F1 Manager 23 is going to be coming out this summer, so this is going to be our last season on this series. We're going to be obviously doing another series on that. We've enjoyed this F1 Manager save. I hope you guys have as well. So that's just something to be coming in the summer. So really, I'm more desperate than ever to win both titles this time round. This Grand Prix, we go to Azerbaijan, another street circuit. I do love this Grand Prix. 51 laps round here. Expected strategy is a one-stop from medium onto hard or soft onto hard. Two-stop can be available as well. And to be fair, there is a chance of a safety car around here. Of course, with all street circuits, there is a chance, and there has been a few over the last few seasons. So I'm going to get through practice, and I'll see you in qualifying for what hopefully is another great weekend for us here at Ferrari.
There are no more chances to practice this weekend. It gets serious from now on in, as our teams prepare to record their best lap times ahead of tomorrow's race. One good lap isn't enough to guarantee a strong position, with consistency absolutely essential for those looking to succeed. Hold on tight, because we're getting underway.
We're bringing you back in Q2 because this has just happened. We were talking Mick Schumacher up even before this Grand Prix this weekend. He's just spun it into the castle section, and I'm not sure now if he's going to be able to complete a lap as he got damaged. He's got a puncture on his rear right tyre, new gearbox required, and he's got minor chassis and suspension damage. I think that might be the end for Mick Schumacher, and mean that he's also taking grid penalties this weekend. We'll have to have a look at that once we get the car back to the garage, but yeah, not ideal for Mick Schumacher. This is it then, last lap in Q3. We sent Mick Schumacher out again. He obviously had that damage. We did send him out on a fresh set of soft compound tyres, paid no big dividends, did finish P15. So it's all on Lando Norris, who set his first time on a scrub set of soft compound tyres. Max Verstappen doesn't improve enough to beat him. I think a pole position could be on the cards for Lando Norris here. He's green through the first, green through the second. Is he going to manage to put it on pole? Lando Norris crosses the line and doesn't do enough to get on at the front row of the grid. He's going to be on the second row. He's got Sergio Perez in front of him and Max Verstappen just behind. Kevin Magnussen again, by the way, notable mention in P6. So if we just fast forward it on and get to the full classifications. But Pierre Gasly, the man at Aston Martin who we enjoyed so much having as our driver, is on pole position for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Lando Norris only in P4. Right, this is either going to work brilliantly or not very well at all. What we're going to do is we're going to try a two-stop with both cars. Now, looking at the one-stop, medium onto hard, I reckon a few cars might be on that. We're looking at this. We're getting 16 seconds. We reckon it's quicker for Lando on the two-stop. We're going to be on the fresher sets of tyres, the faster sets of tyres more often in the Grand Prix. Both our drivers are going to be on that. Mick's going to start on the soft, try and gain some positions early doors, then undercut and get onto the medium compound tyres. Lando's going to be on the mediums, then cut pits a bit earlier onto the softs, and then back onto the mediums again. That's the plan. If there's a safety car, both our guys have got the hard compound tyre to go on to. So two very different races. P4, P15, let's do it. I fancy a good result here. I really, really do. Let's get to 5 red lights for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
This is what you've been waiting for. It's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
I've got to say, there's something quite satisfying about seeing Pierre Gasly on pole position, but as we go into turn 1, it's Charles Leclerc even who's managed to get P1 off Pierre Gasly. Perez P3, Verstappen P4, but he's neck and neck with Lando Norris, and he looks, to be fair, Verstappen is on a worn set of soft compound tyres. He may be very quick early doors, but Lando Norris is sticking to his guns here, and to be fair, he looks like he's got the straight line speed over that Red Bull. And Lando Norris, remember, can be a bit more aggressive this race. He's got an aggressive race to run, as has Mick Schumacher down all the way in P15, and straight away he's got Valtteri Bottas for company, as well as George Russell. The Ferrari sandwiched between two Mercedes in P15. Something you didn't expect to see today, it must be said. So as we come towards the middle of lap 1, it's Charles Leclerc who leads from Gasly. Perez in P3, Norris in P4. Norris looks like he's very much attacking Sergio Perez at this moment in time. I think he feels that he's got the pace on Checo Perez, and to be fair, we're going to tell him, use a bit of overtake, Lando, because I reckon you are quicker than Checo Perez. And straight away we're starting to lose a little bit of time towards these front guys. He's gone round the outside in that corner. Very, very brave from Lando Norris. But Lando Norris at the moment is driving with supreme confidence, and he gets the job done round the outside, does it? It's now going to be a drag race all the way down this winding, that's a straight, winding start-finish straight. He's still fighting with Checo Perez, swearing down the radio as he's doing it, but he cannot get past Checo Perez. And Checo Perez, in a straight line, he's absolutely managed to hold off Lando Norris. Wow. That McLaren, he's looking particularly quick, and now he's got Max Verstappen for company as well. This is not working very well at all for Lando Norris. He needs the two in front to be squabbling. Meanwhile, Mick Schumacher, 2 seconds Bottas gap to Maloney, so Mick Schumacher's got to get on with it as well, and he now looks like he's starting to do on these soft compound tyres, and I'm sure he'll catch up to that Nissan very, very quickly. But it is very difficult to overtake round here, but Schumacher does get the job done on Valtteri Bottas. He's up to P14. Lando Norris needs to get Checo pretty quickly. We have got a crash. It's happened on lap 3. There is no safety car. It's Alexander Albon who's got to be under a lot of pressure at Audi at this moment in time. And to be fair, I don't know what he was looking at. Maybe we're having a look at the wonderful architecture in front of him. But he's just smashed it into the barriers. And Alexander Albon, I would imagine, is out of this Grand Prix. Are we going to get that confirmation? We're not. Alexander Albon has managed to get it started again, but he's finding it very difficult to navigate the streets of Baku. Meanwhile, back with Lando Norris, he's looking left and right at the moment, trying to get past Checo Perez, but he just cannot seem to get this job done, and he's really got to get past him and get on the front, guys. That would be ideal. Checo Perez is defending left and right here, but he just cannot seem to get the move done here at all, Lando Norris. Let's have a look and ride on board with the British driver down this long start-finish straight. I'm going to call it a straight for the rest of this video. Let's get this DRS open, and hopefully now he can get the job done. He's looking left and right again, but it appears that he just cannot get past him. Checo Perez is causing us so many problems here. Will he manage to get it done on this straight? Let's have a look. Perez again defensive and beautifully places his car, and Lando Norris can just not get past Checo Perez. Meanwhile, Mick Schumacher really needs to get a shift on these sides, on the faster compounded tyre. This strategy really should work for Mick Schumacher, but he's not making it work at this moment in time. He's a bit on his own, to be fair, and it's quite a lonely race for Mick. Meanwhile, at the front, at the sharp end, Gasly and Leclerc still battling away here. Lando Norris is trying that hard to get past Checo. He's losing time. But Pierre Gasly defending again very, very well. There's a lot of defensive driving going off so far on this Sunday. But Pierre Gasly looking very good at this moment in time. Lap 4. And I'm guessing that Bono has given Mick Schumacher the hurry up on lap 5, because Mick Schumacher new fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and I'm sure now he should be making light work of this Nissan. Let's ride on board with Mick Schumacher. Beautiful work from him. He's past Zane Maloney, and he can now get his foot down and catch the cars in front. Remember, this strategy needs Mick Schumacher to drive very well. And finally, Lando Norris is past the McLaren of Checo Perez. Looks like he's got it done on the outside, and it's beautiful work from Lando Norris. Checo went defensive on Verstappen in the end. That DRS proving pivotal. Lando Norris up to P3 and now can chase after Leclerc and Gasly. And we're actually going to tell Lando Norris to deploy on the ERS and get past as quick as he possibly can. We want him up with these two guys in front when we get to the next DRS zone. Lap 5. Lap 7, Lando Norris fell out of DRS of the two cars in front, and Checo Perez into turn 1, got the move done on the inside, and then it was a pure drag race up the next DRS straight. But Checo Perez has once again managed to get in position into P3. I'm not too concerned now though. We know that we're in the DRS with the leaders, and remember, we are on an alternate strategy with Believe. Mick Schumacher battling with a Nissan. Something I didn't expect him to be doing on these soft compound tyres. He needs to get his foot down and catch up with these guys in front. If we have a look at the strategy for Mick Schumacher, he's got a few laps yet, but he needs to start getting his foot down and getting up with these next lot of cars. Lap 7. Here we go then, Mick Schumacher coming into the pit lane. Now we've had a few cars around Mick Schumacher actually pit. Russell, Stroll, Bottas, a few of them have already pit but gone onto the hard compound tyre. They're obviously going towards the end. Mick Schumacher isn't. Mick Schumacher's got another pit stop to make after this. But I'll be very interested to see where he comes out on circuit, Mick Schumacher. If he comes out in clear air, which it's looking like he may do. We've got Lance Stroll coming round in the Nissan, but I would expect Mick Schumacher to make light work of him, and he can really make this work now. Meanwhile, Lando Norris still battling at the sharp end, battling with Checo Perez. This battle's been going on all afternoon. Lando Norris is going to be pitting in the next couple of laps, but he manages to get the job done before the turn-in. Beautiful work from Lando, and he will be coming in the next couple of laps. But Mick Schumacher now, work to do. This is where Mick Schumacher's really got to show his stuff. Lap 15. Just to bring you up to date on a few things, Verstappen has come in, he's gone onto the hard compound tyres, as has Latifi, but Mick Schumacher is deploying all the way down this straight now, and we're hoping that if he can get this done into turn 1, which he has done, he can now start to chase after these guys. He's got Guan Yu Zhou coming out in front of him, he's using all the ERS and gets blocked off badly, but he will also, I imagine, get DRS down this straight, maybe not. But he is on the faster compounder tyre. He can really start now to push as well on the fuel, use this car and make this undercut work, because he's got to make this two-stop strategy work. It's of vital importance. We saw him overtake Stroll, and now we're going to see him overtake Guan Yu Zhou in the Lotus Renault. Job done for Mick Schumacher, who will now be told to deploy and just go for it and get these two out of DRS. We don't want to be fighting with the two cars behind. Lap 16. Gasly still leads from Leclerc. Perez has dropped to second back nearly. Lando Norris is in next lap. Lap 18, Lando Norris into the box. Now I reckon we may be able to get him out in front of Verstappen. That's the key thing here. Lando Norris is exiting the pit lane. We see Maloney go past. We can see Verstappen well up the road. Lando Norris is going to be in clean air on soft compound tyres. That's exactly what we needed from Lando Norris. And this could be absolutely a huge stint for Lando to really make it count here. I'm not going to push him on the ERS, sorry. I know how quick he is. He knows how to manage it, so I've no threat with that at all. Lando Norris, P8, and I reckon now we will make some time up. And remember, he's got a fresh set of medium tyres to go on towards the end as well. And if there's a safety car, we can also bang the hards on. So we've got a lot of options with Lando Norris. Likewise with Mick Schumacher, who is now starting to cut through this traffic. And we are going to tell him to use overtake, Mick Schumacher, because I think we've got a chance to get past a few cars here. He's now sat in behind the Haas of Nicholas Latifi, looking left and right. We'll watch that overtake on George Russell, because I feel that's important to do. There's a gaggle of cars, and Mick Schumacher is making his way through, and Mick Schumacher overtaking the Mercedes of George Russell, and now it's Nicholas Latifi in the Maserati Haas. Can he get past him? Let's have a look here. He's using overtake. Latifi's really backing him up here. He needs to get this job done. Once he gets past Latifi, he's then got 7 seconds to Verstappen, and I'm sure he can make that work. So Mick Schumacher, big moments in this next couple of sectors. And in that next couple of sectors, Mick Schumacher did exactly what we needed him to do. A really difficult move to make round the outside there. basically brushing the barrier, but did very, very well to get past Nicholas Latifi. And I'm hoping now Latifi will hold the guys up while Mick Schumacher gets on with his race, because that's vitally important now. Has Latifi pit yet? I don't believe he has. 53% medium compound tyres for Nicholas Latifi. Schumacher on 88%. This shouldn't even be a battle, Mick Schumacher. But Latifi looks like he's going to chuck one down the inside. Mick Schumacher defending. Latifi is coming back at Mick Schumacher. Schumacher seems to have got it covered off. Latifi compromised a little bit there, but we're going to stay on board with this and have a look at Nicholas Latifi, who is gaining on Mick Schumacher, but Mick Schumacher looks like he's parked it beautifully. Meanwhile, Lando Norris overtaking Zane Maloney. Let's have a quick look at this. We can see Verstappen in the background, but Lando Norris gets a helping of DRS just for good measure and gets the job done before the corner. Lando Norris enjoying life at this moment in time. 95% soft compound tyres. If he can catch up to these guys in front, he's going to be mightily quick towards the end. Lap 19.
A closer look.
It's a Lando Norris world, and at this moment in time, I'm sat here on the pit wall thinking I'm going to get to the Christian Horner at the end of this season and say, Lando Norris, you are world champion, because he's just making this look so easy. To be fair, I think the strategy is looking very, very promising at this moment in time. We're loving it in the garage, we're loving it on the pit wall, and at this moment, Lando Norris is now up to P6. 6 seconds. I reckon he's going to have caught these guys up top. What he got to lead at 12 seconds. He's going to be mightily quick towards the end, and he's mightily quick at the moment. He's got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We aren't even pushing him at this moment in time. We don't see the need to use the ERS. We'll use that later on. Lando Norris looking in prime position at this moment in time. And it must be said, Mick Schumacher's not doing a bad job either. Currently sat down in P10. Doesn't seem to quite have the pace of Max Verstappen at this moment in time, but he's doing okay at the moment. Will Mick Schumacher manage to get some decent points today? Of that I'm not sure, but we'll keep an eye on this. But Mick Schumacher not doing so bad at the moment from P15. Lap 20, Leclerc from Gasly. All the guys in front of Lando Norris haven't pit yet. The first person to pit after Lando Norris is Max Verstappen, who's on the hard compound tyres and going to the end. And as I say that, Gasly is in to the pit lane, so we're going to just watch this. We'll fast forward it a little bit. Let him change his tyres. I'm assuming he's going onto the hard compound tyres. He is. Obviously, that Aston Martin pit crew. It used to be my pit crew. Making that change there. We look like we've got the Audis ready to come in as well now. Where is Pierre Gasly going to come out? Lando Norris is well up the road. Zane Maloney is coming down. Is he going to manage to stay in front of Maloney and Verstappen? He is. And I reckon Verstappen might fancy a bite at this here. I really do, and he's not. He's going to get past Maloney. Verstappen's going to be on the back of Gasly very, very shortly. In fact, he may be on the back of him now. He's not going to manage to make a move into that turn, but up the next straight, Verstappen's going to be on him. Not great news for Gasly. Leclerc, I imagine, will be next to pit. Lap 22, I just want to tell you how all this strategy is working. Lando Norris now up to P3. He's not had to pass any cars. They've been pitting as Lando Norris has been getting up to him. It's working an absolute treat. As soon as Ricciardo and Leclerc pit, he's going to be going full throttle on the ERS as well. Mick Schumacher now, is he going to get out in front of Magnussen? He isn't, but he's on the medium 7-pounder tyre. I reckon he might get him here, and Mick Schumacher then, of course, has still got a pit stop to make. But Mick Schumacher in prime position as well to do very well here. Lando Norris, this could be a massive win for him in the title race, especially with Leclerc, Ricciardo and Verstappen all up there at this moment in time. Meanwhile, Verstappen is still battling Pierre Gasly now. Gasly's going to have an uncomfortable few laps with that Red Bull on the back of him. And Sergio Perez is also in this little train now as well. Lap 22. Lap 23, Leclerc and Ricciardo pit. They're out in front of Magnussen, who's got a very hungry Mick Schumacher on the back of him. Can't seem to quite get the job done at this moment in time. But Lando Norris now leads the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. 10 seconds gap to Gasly. Just having a little look at the last lap times here. 1:46.7 for Lando, 1:47.8 for Verstappen. 1 second quicker than the guys behind on this last lap. We're going to start pushing a little bit on the ERS and the fuel in a moment as well. We want to extend this gap as much as we possibly can. And Lando Norris now is going to be told, let's get on with it a little bit and let's extend the gap on lap 23.
Schumacher.
We're going to have a little look now. Schumacher getting the job done inside line. Got a decent exit out of that turn and managed to get the job done with the DRS open. Great work from Mick Schumacher. He's now up to P7. Gap to Verstappen now, 13 seconds for Lando Norris, who remember has got to make another pit stop, so that's something to bear in mind. We did use a little bit of ERS, but last lap, let's have a look at this. Last lap, 1:46.3 for Norris, 1:48.2 for Verstappen. Gasly now has been passed by Verstappen and Perez. I don't know if Perez had an Gasly's had an incident, but at this moment in time, he's now got Charles Leclerc behind him. It's not looking promising for these guys. Norris, remember, are going to be very, very quick towards the end of this Grand Prix. Lap 25. Right then, guys, lap 33. Lando Norris is just coming into the pit lane. This was his optimal pit stop time. 17.2 seconds gap to Gasly. I reckon we're going to have a battle towards the end of this Grand Prix, but what must be said is we're going to be on by far the better tyres. And hopefully Lando can make this work. Is it a good stop from our guys? 2.5 seconds. Let's see where Lando filters out here. He's going to have the ERS. We'll keep an eye on where Gasly and these guys are coming down the start-finish straight. They're going to come into turn 1. Lando Norris is going to come out in P4, but he's on fresh medium tyres. These guys are on worn hards. Meanwhile, Mick Schumacher's also coming in this lap as well. He's going on to another set of medium compound tyres. So let's just fast forward this a little bit and see where Mick Schumacher comes out. It might not have worked as well for Mick Schumacher as it's going to do for Lando Norris. I don't think he's going to be under any sort of threat here. Maloney's already passed him. Where's Bottas? Bottas is a mile away. Schumacher comes out P13 and possibly what? Let's have a look. Has he got about 8 seconds? Maybe to the points, yeah. So what? About 8 seconds to the points, but he is on fresh medium tyres. Lando Norris, battle for the win, lap 34. Checo Perez has had a really, really good battle with Lando Norris today, and I must admit, he's been in my thinking, if we don't keep Mick Schumacher, on this performance alone, Checo Perez has been outstanding and actually a pleasure to watch, even from a competitor's point of view. As the late sunshine starts to come down in Baku, they're enjoying this in the Ferrari garage, but they know there is overtakes to be made, and the next overtake is going to be these two guys. What we're doing at this moment, just charging up the battery a little bit, because once we get past these guys, it's push, push, push to break the DRS. That's what we need to do. Mick Schumacher is already on the back of Maloney and hopefully going to get past him very shortly if he decides to make an overtake. But Lando Norris is the one we're all watching. Can he make it back-to-back wins at street circuits? Lap 37. Okay, Mick Schumacher taking a lot longer to overtake in Nissan than most Ferraris would do, it must be said, but finally did get past there Maloney. He's now got a bit of a gap to cleanse. He's got to get, what we on? 2.4 seconds gap to Vettel. He's been told to deploy on the ERS, catch up with these guys, and I reckon he can make a dint in this top 10. Meanwhile, Lando Norris is stuck behind Max Verstappen and can't seem to get to P2 in this train. Let's ride on board with him as he goes down this big long start finish weaving straight. He's taking a different line to Verstappen and Gasly, who've been battling all day long, but we want to get past and then make a run for it. That's the plan. Will we manage to get the DRS open here and get past one of these two cars and get ourselves into P2? That's the idea. Verstappen's gone to the outside, now gone to the inside. Gasly defending very, very well. And again, we just can't seem to get past these cars. He now steps on it with the overtake on. Verstappen cuts back across. It's a battle for the ages between these three at this moment in time. Now Gasly going to the middle of the road. Verstappen gone outside. Lando Norris gone inside. Will he manage to get P2 here? This could be absolutely crucial. We'll switch to TV camera and it looks like he's going to manage to make it happen. No, Leclerc's got the inside line for this next turn. Gasly keeping himself at the front. Now Lando Norris is managing to go through. And Lando Norris looks like he may have just pinched the lead of this Grand Prix, has he? Using the overtake button again. And Lando Norris is in to P1 on lap 40. But we are running out of battery, so we're just going to have to charge down this next couple of corners. Lando Norris gaining 2 positions. We're going to watch that again on the replay. Beautiful work from him. Just waited for a gap to appear. Appear it did. The Aston Martin and Red Bull too concerned with each other. And Lando Norris gets into P1. Meanwhile, Mick Schumacher into P10 now. And battling away now. He's got 2 cars in front of him and he really needs to make light work of these. We're going to tell him to keep using that overtake. 2 Lotus Renaults in front. Pierre Gasly is now in P2. Leclerc P3. Lando Norris is in P1. And on lap 41, we're just starting to breathe a little bit easier on the Ferrari pit wall. Lando Norris has broken the DRS to Pierre Gasly. 1.6 seconds now, gap to Gasly. Now the focus is very much on Schumacher and trying to get him past these two Lotus Renaults, which is not proving an easy task. If you can get past these two, I think the gap to Ocon, gap to Magnussen is a little bit too much. But we'll keep a keen eye on Schumacher. Now it looks like Lando should have this in the bag. Lap 41. And on lap 42, Schumacher does as he's asked. He gets past Guan Yu Zhou. Very well done for him. He's managed to get that position on to the start-finish straight, and now he's got the DRS on the Lotus Renault in front again on much quicker tyres. And I believe we haven't got a replay of this, but he's already passed Ocon. 0.3 seconds now the gap to Ocon. Schumacher, that should be P8, which is not really a bad recovery drive from P15. Lando Norris now has just got to keep it on the road for the last 9 laps of this Grand Prix to make it back-to-back wins on the street circuits. Lap 43.
Now let's have a look.
Mick Schumacher, tyres have just fell off, but we've also got a very, very quick Nissan. I can't believe the Ferrari's been battling with the Nissan all afternoon. You don't see that on the M1, do you? Lance Stroll, now on the soft compounded tyre, has come out of nowhere and overtaken Ocon and Schumacher. And Lance Stroll, looking in a very, very good position, 63% tired on those softs. He's got a job to do here, Mick Schumacher. We're probably going to leave it until the final lap and try and get round these two. Because at the moment, we're just charging a bit of battery. And just getting ourselves ready for this final push, which Mick Schumacher is going to have to do in a couple of laps' time. Lando Norris, what can you say about this, man? He's got it, basically, job done. We're now going light on the tyres. The strategy's worked to perfection for Lando Norris. It's not worked to perfection for Mick Schumacher. Maybe that's the tale of the drivers more than the strategy. Who knows? 2 laps to go for Lando. Mick Schumacher's got a bit of driving to do. Lap 50. No last lap drama to tell you about. Lando Norris is just coming down to the finish line. What a performance from Lando Norris it has been today. Brilliant from him. He's going to be maximum points for the Brit at Azerbaijan in the Ferrari. Lando Norris wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. What a day.
Lovely.
Norris wins it.
Xavi's been very quiet with it. Mick Schumacher, we might as well cut to him. He's still chasing down Lance Stroll. I don't think he's going to get a chance down this final straight. I really don't. Lando Norris, lovely, as simple as that. He's obviously very calm and collected. As we have been all afternoon, to be fair, with Lando Norris, it's not been a problem. Lance Stroll, he's going to score some points for Nissan. That's quite a big moment for him. You can see where, and we've seen it in the comments section, people saying that Mick Schumacher maybe isn't the man for the job to guide us to the Constructors' title. It's P9 for Mick today.
We have to check it.
Bono, it's all his own work that he's managed to sort of knacker it up this weekend. He's spun in qualifying, put himself in a disadvantageous position. We've tried to give him something a little bit different on the strategy. It's not quite worked, and Mick Schumacher finishes P9, but does fortunately get a point. Podium celebration, anyone?
Lando Norris can be proud. What a fantastic performance from him. This is a tremendous podium result. It's joy all around for the team.
And I think we can be very happy with that as we see Lando celebrating Checo Perez, by the way. Checo Perez, what a performance from him today. I think he'd be up there for driver of the day, apart from Lando, who gains 3 positions and finishes with a 1:45.3 of the fastest lap, a second quicker than anyone else. Leclerc, Perez make up the podium. Gasly in P4, he'll be disappointed with that. Verstappen P5, Danny Ricciardo P6, Magnussen again performing very well in that Audi in P7, Stroll P8, Schumacher P9 and Esteban Ocon down in P10. Drivers standings wise, Lando Norris extends his lead to 40 points at the top of the drivers standings. 6 wins, 7 podiums so far for Lando this season. Leclerc gains 18 points in P2. Verstappen moving comfortably now into P3. Checo Perez, though, still hanging on to the coattails in P4. Mick Schumacher gains just 2 points, and I think that's going to have a detrimental effect when we go to the constructors, because we remain 4 points behind. But it must be said, a lot of these points are coming from Lando's side of the garage. It's not been a bad day for McLaren either. 23 points for them. Aston Martin score a respectable 13 points to close the gap on Alpine. I hope you've enjoyed that one. I've enjoyed them 2 street circuits this week. It's been a cracking experience with Lando Norris. He looks like the favourite to win this driver's title. Let me know in the comments who's going to win it. Can Lando win it, or is Leclerc or Verstappen even going to close him down? And we'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra!